What is poppin' YouTube? Back again with another video. Happy Monday. Today we are talking about my updated post NFL draft rookie mock draft that I just did with a bunch of followers. So we're going to be diving into that. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton and it will make my Monday if you do. We're going to be dropping a ton more Dynasty content, and especially as we transition into redraft season, you want to be a part of this community.
I'm about to light the fuse. I just need me a cup. I'ma pour me the juice. I got the juice now.
So without further ado, the 101 in this draft was Bijan Robinson. The 102 was Bryce Young, which I thought was a little bit surprising that the Dynasty community, especially a bunch of people that I follow, it's been Anthony Richardson as the QB1 over and over again. Bryce Young went 1-2 in this draft. Anthony Richardson then goes at the 1-3. CJ Stroud at the 1-4. Kind of standard. You have the Bijan Robinson, and then the three major NFL quarterbacks. Then this is the 1-5. The video today I posted, I talked a little bit about, I feel like the decision that a lot of Dynasty managers that are at the 1-5 are going to have, Jahmyr Gibbs or JSN. JSN is the golden boy of the Dynasty community. We've been hyping it up for the last year and a half. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the draft capital, but he's an undersized running back, and a lot of people are unsure about the Detroit landing spot, even though DeAndre Swift was traded away. Jahmyr Gibbs goes here at the 1-5. JSN at the 1-6. I have this decision actually today. I have the 1-6 in a draft, and I don't know what's going to follow me. I will link that in the comments when I make that pick. It'll be interesting to see which way I get to make my decision, but the decision is going to kind of be made for me. So we'll see what happens. Quentin Johnston at the 1-7. Jordan Addison at the 1-8. I do like the Quentin Johnston did get taken ahead of Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison was our wide receiver 2 pre-draft, and I think I'm warming up to the idea of Quentin Johnston on the Chargers taking over that Mike Williams role whenever Mike Williams inevitably retires. Jordan Addison, though, at the 1-8 still feels like a great spot with the Minnesota landing spot. This is where there is a tier break for me. Then Zay Flowers goes at the 1-9 from the Baltimore Ravens. Zach Charbonnet goes at the 1-10. Like we said, the back end of these rookie drafts, especially in the first round, it feels just not great. Doesn't feel great at all. But you have to take Zach Charbonnet at the 1-10. Otherwise, even though we hate the landing spot and we don't know what Pete Carroll is doing, you have to take him at 110, considering the fact that he did get that second round draft capital. Dalton Kincaid at 111. What are you going to do? Take the first round tight end, or are you taking the third round running back? That is the major decision here happening at the 111. So they take Dalton Kincaid. We were very much so don't take tight ends. There's so many, get them in the second round. But at this point in the 111, sometimes you don't have the choice. You just have to bank on the fact that Dalton Kincaid is tied to Josh Allen and that he's going to get the target. Then Devin Achane gets picked at the 112. The dream landing spot to Miami, but he gets drafted in the third round. I've seen a lot of people in the Dynasty community be putting Devin Achane ahead of Zach Charbonnet. I don't know how you can do that just based on draft capital alone and pre-draft rankings, but I do think Devin Achane potentially has a really great role with Miami. Getting him at the 112 feels okay. Doesn't feel great, but it could be worse. It could be way worse. At the 201, we had Will Levis going at the 2-1. I mean, in a Superflex league, you're going to have to be taking Will Levis sometime maybe in the back end of the first to the early second. It's just with the depth of this class disappearing, and even though Will Levis didn't get that first round draft capital, taking him at the 2-1, you have to do that. Jonathan Mingo at the 2-2, a surprising pick by the Carolina Panthers in round 2, but with the draft capital and the profile and all the hype and buzz that he was getting as the draft approaches, Jonathan Mingo does feel like a good pick at the 2-2. This is where it gets interesting. Tajay Spears over Kendre Miller for me. I would definitely be taking Kendre Miller, especially with all the reports of Tajay Spears not having ACLs, that he's already dealing with arthritis on that knee. As a running back, we love the profile. We love the game he had, Tulane, when they played against USC, but I would be taking Kendre Miller ahead of Tajay Spears. So Kendre Miller goes at the 2-4. Michael Mayer falls all the way to the 2-5. I would be taking Michael Mayer ahead of Tajay Spears 100%, just knowing the profile. And even though he goes in the second round, high quality tight end. There was just so much depth of tight end in this class. I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons that Michael Mayer fell. Roshan Johnson to the Chicago Bears at the 2-6. I would actually be taking Roshan Johnson ahead of Tajay Spears, honestly, just in my rankings and based on landing spot. Tank Bigsby goes at the 2-7. Zach Evans at the 2-8. Feels very early for Zach Evans. Feels like I would be taking maybe some of these tight ends, especially Rashid Rice, who goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, who got him in the second round. We can say all we want about Rashid Rice and that, it was a great landing spot, but he's not the quality receiver. There's a lot to learn. He's a little bit more developed than Sky Moore was last season. Everyone was hyped about Sky taking him at the back end of their first round of rookie draft. Whereas Rashid Rice, you're getting him at the 210. Feels like a steal. I'd definitely be taking Rashid Rice ahead of Zach Evans, Luke Musgrave, those type of guys. Chase Brown goes at the 211 to the Cincinnati Bengals. Sneaky good landing spot. Chase Brown, especially taking a late shot at this upside running back, hoping that he takes over for Joe Mixon or can have that Samaje Perine role. Sam Laporta at the 212. Like we said, you're kind of just drafting these tight ends because there's really nothing else to be drafting based on the draft capital that was available. Making our way into the third round at the 3-1, we have Marvin Mims. Great landing spot with the Broncos. Late round draft capital, not as good as we would have been hoped. Hendon Hooker at the 3-2. As much as we hate to see the Hendon Hooker fall, the Detroit Lions did get him in the third. Will he have a chance to start? Potentially at some point if Jared Goff gets injured, but there's really not that likelihood, especially the fact that if he would have gone in the second or the first, would have felt a lot better for Hendon Hooker. At the 3-3, Jalen Hyatt goes off the board. Where was all the hype? Jalen Hyatt was supposed to go in the first round and then fell in the NFL draft. He does feel like a perfect complement in that system of very short slant. They want fast guys. Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt. He fits right along those lines. So I did like the pick, being able to take a late shot on Jalen Hyatt. Josh Downs in 3-4. Honestly, like I said, the third round of this draft almost feels like the second round of what was projected by analysts. The draft capital was just so bad. It was just so bad. Josh Downs at 3-4. Feel great taking that shot. Jaden Reed at the 3-5. We do feel good about that. I feel like Reed honestly could have potentially gone in the second round. I just think a lot of people are not maybe super aware of what Jaden Reed did in college, the profile, but I mean, being a third round pick, getting drafted by Green Bay feels pretty good. Keyshawn Boutte goes to the New England Patriots. They took a late round shot. I feel like I'd be taking Cedric Tillman over Boutte just based on draft capital and landing spot as well. Darnell Washington at the 3-7. Izzy Abanikanda from the New York Jets. Will he start at all if Breece Hall is slow to start? We shall see. Deuce Vaughn, we also the beautiful TikTok story of his dad drafting him and calling him up, asking him if he wants to go to work at the 3-10. I really do like that pick because right now in the Cowboys backfield, we have Tony Pollard, Malik Davis, which Malik Davis is one of my favorite sleepers, but Deuce Vaughn potentially could be taking Malik Davis's role. Still to be determined. Perry at 3-11, and then Evan Hall, who signed to the Colts. Can't remember if he got drafted or got signed super late. Probably won't have a major role for the Colts. So that was the mock draft that I did. Let me know right now, who are some players that you think were undervalued? Who are some players that you're definitely trying to target based on what you're seeing from either my mock draft or other mock drafts? But good luck to everyone mock drafting this week or actually doing their drafts. Or if you've already done your draft, tell me where you've gotten these guys because there's a lot of rookie drafts that are still going to happen. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in here today. We're going to be putting out another video tomorrow. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. And I'll catch you on the next one.